Welcome back, everyone. That's right, today is a surprise WWE video. If you're new here, my name is Ari, and I got into WWE just about exactly a year ago. Started out with the Attitude Era, then I started watching the current roster this April and analyzing the cool stuff I was seeing. And if you ask me, I think I'm killing it. Honestly, I wasn't even gonna make another WWE video until about next January or so. But then there were some updates that I just could not wait to comment on. So we're gonna knock out 3 storylines today, just one after the other. First, we'll hit RHIYO and the Kabuki Warriors, then we'll hit what's going on with the Usos, and finally, we're gonna catch up with John Cena himself. Let's get to it. The RHIYO storyline. So to start out, I'd like to congratulate the Raw writers for really proving me wrong with this one. In my previous video, I voiced some concern that this whole conflict between Io, Rhea, and the Kabuki Warriors was just some kind of superficial, improvised drama just to keep these girls busy while the writers scrambled to resolve the whole vacant women's world title problem. And as it turned out, this storyline has become way more interesting than most of the title fights currently in motion, if you ask me. We all have to eat our own words once in a while, don't we? But this time I'm happy to. Where we left off in my previous video, it was still pretty unclear to me at least what exactly Io Sky wanted. Obviously, she felt obligated to stay loyal to Asuka given the large role that Asuka's played in Io's career. But on the other hand, Rhea Ripley's not the one who's constantly sabotaging and terrorizing Io. However, Io Sky was finally forced to break ties with the Kabuki Warriors once and for all when Asuka first attacked Rhea with her poison mist. Asuka has that, by the way, after Asuka lost a match to Rhea at Monday Night Raw. And then about a week later, Asuka subjected Io to the exact same poison mist attack, so kinda safe to assume that bridge has been burned. Meanwhile, Asuka and Kairi Sane's relationship has been in flux, I'll say. See, when they first reunited, Kairi was definitely seeing the red flags popping up here and there, but Asuka means a lot to her, right? So of course she's gonna overlook them at first. Besides, Asuka is fucking scary. I mean, would you want to argue with this woman? First of all, she has the same kind of unpredictability factor that I really enjoyed in Naomi, but Asuka also plays this sort of twisted mentor figure who feels entitled to pit her mentees against each other for her own amusement. It's kind of extra sick in that way. Also, her fighting style is just brutal. Like, I have moments where I'm like, girl, do you even feel pain? And on top of all that, Asuka is such a troll. I mean, not only is she gonna spit poison in your eyes in front of thousands of people, she's also gonna turn you into a Smurf meme on the internet forever. What a nightmare. Anyway, Asuka and Kairi's relationship definitely reflects this instability in Asuka. Like, one second, Asuka's putting Kairi directly in harm's way, and then the next she's swing dancing away with her like, we have so much fun together, don't we, Kairi? And Kairi's all, we sure do, Asuka. But that said, things between those two is definitely taking a darker turn, because Asuka's abuse toward Kairi has sharply increased. She started slapping this girl around this way and that like it means nothing to her and she doesn't care who sees. And while Kairi used to occasionally push back against Asuka's outrageous demands of her, ever since Crown Jewel, it seems like she's even more brainwashed. I don't know if that's just me. And that only makes me want to see her break out of this abuse cycle even more. It just makes one wonder, what's it gonna take? How awful will Asuka have to get before Kairi changes her mind about her? Speaking of Crown Jewel, RHIYO took on the Kabuki Warriors in a tag team match that weekend, and RHIYO was victorious. They had a beautiful moment up there. RHIYO is forever. It's official. For now. I mean, goddammit, we know anything can happen, but for now, those two are happy. Meanwhile, the Kabuki Warriors have pivoted their attention toward the Women's Tag Team Championship, which, remember, at this time is being held by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who I'm also very invested in. So part of me hopes that if Team We're Not Friends takes on the Kabuki Warriors, they'll retain their titles. Because then if they do, will that propel the separation of the Kabuki Warriors? Or will Io be the one who steps in and helps Kairi see the light once and for all? Could Kairi ever leave Asuka and join forces with RHIYO? Tune in next time for another very special episode of As the Turn Buckles. No, we're not doing a soap opera bit. But like I said, I'm hooked. And I see all kinds of possibilities for where these characters could go next. I'm officially a huge fan of everyone involved in this one. Now, let's talk about the Usos, because they've also kind of been going through it lately. See, Jay's been acting off lately, but you kind of get it, right? For starters, his world championship title run was pretty anticlimactic, and he's been struggling for weeks to even try to get it back. Roman Reigns has been appearing more frequently to coach Jay, telling him what he needs to do to be a champion again, with some helpful tips along the lines of don't have friends, always put yourself first, don't trust anybody, don't take shit from your own twin brother. So what if he's principled? This is the first time that I've personally seen the dark side of Jey Uso come out. Again, just as a reminder, I only started watching this show in April. Like, until now, he was just the yeet guy to me. The hero to the kids in the audience. Wouldn't hesitate to help a friend even if he was injured. But now he's realizing this hero habit has unfortunately cost him a lot of opportunity. He could have won that belt back by now if he just stopped getting his ribs cracked on everybody else's behalf. So honestly, when I realized that they were pointing Jay toward a possible heel turn, I was like, this could get interesting. Right now, his bond with Jimmy is getting tested, and a heel turn feels like a pretty natural response to everything he's gone through this year. Even though everything he's gone through this year hasn't like really connected with me, but still. They foreshadowed a heel turn pretty darn well at first. I gotta hand it to the camera guy who framed that one shot at the end of Raw that one time. It was with Jay, Jimmy, and Roman after that one Usos versus the Bronze match where the Bronze showed up looking like they raided Rhea Ripley's closet for some reason. Anyway, Roman gave Jay this prolonged pep talk at the end, and you could see Jimmy in the background looking real concerned. Needless to say, the twins have been butting heads pretty badly. Jimmy's been trying to get Jay to come back to his senses, but after the Battle Royal that one time on Raw, who knows how long he can keep it up. Yeah, remember the Battle Royal to determine CM Punk's opponent at the Saturday Night Main Event? I'll say that I was pretty thrilled when that was announced out of nowhere. Like, wow, that is a lot of cool guys in the ring all at once with like no notice. What a treat. And it was so fun. There were so many good moments in there. As you all know, it ended with Jay betraying Jimmy hard when he knocked both Jimmy and LA Knight out of the ring. And I was like, oh shit. I was all for that ending in terms of what it brought to the Usos storyline. And then a minute later, CM Punk walked out. And that's when I realized what it means. Jey Uso won the Battle Royal. God damn it. I still want LA Knight in the running for that title so badly, guys. Like, I want to see Jay go through some family drama. I really do. It just sucks that since his whole thing right now is getting back the World Heavyweight title, the family drama naturally has to involve him trying to get back the World Heavyweight title. I totally get why it happened that way. It's just regretful. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes at the Saturday Night Main Event. I'm recording this about half a week before then, so insert future reaction right here to how that all turned out. CM Punk won. Wasn't that fun to watch? And there you go. I'm sure everyone's happy with that result. Finally, let's catch up with John Cena. We're gonna make this chapter quick. I just want to tell you guys how I feel about how the whole Lesnar versus Cena angle wrapped up, and then we can touch on that masterpiece of a match with AJ Styles. Now, where we last left off with Cena, he was getting ready to face off Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, and how did that go? Well, first I gotta say, as someone who had never seen Brock Lesnar fight before, all I knew about him was that he looked like this. I mean, Jesus Christ. This guy Oh my god, he's just about the scariest guy I've ever seen. So would someone be so kind as to explain to me why when this guy opened his mouth and talked in front of me for the first time ever, he had the most Ned Flanders-ass voice I've ever heard. Dude was chatting away with R-Truth like, "Excuse me, pal, I'm looking for John Cena, and I mighty appreciate it if you pointed me in the right direction, thank you kindly." And then he ripped his pants? Okay, don't worry though, because about a week later, stuff got crazy. Brock Lesnar arrived just to lay waste to the entire announce team, I guess. Hey, remember a few videos ago when I confessed to you guys that I tend to take my WWE notes while high as giraffe balls? Well, this was one of those nights. And I have to say that my notes paint such a vivid, accurate picture of that entire Brock Lesnar encounter. I would love to read them to you all verbatim, just to remind everybody what happened in perfect detail. Notes start now. Lesnar has captured Cole. He's doing laps. You had a good run, Michael Cole. Corey Graves fries to help. Bet he won't get suspended like Gunter did. Holy fugb. He just grabbed the camera. But we know Cena's not come get out, because his last SmackDown was his last SmackDown. Now he's just throwing a shit. He's gonna eat the medics. Cena's not here, bro. Nobody seems happy about this. Anyway, as you all know, just about nobody was happy with the Lesnar versus Cena match at WrestlePalooza. It was a colossal disappointment. Brock Lesnar won, and the wrestling community just had an entire fit. I'm talking children sobbing their eyes out in the audience. I'm talking ESPN themselves shitting all over this PLE. This was their first PLE. Like, how do you even respond to that if you're Cena? Well, I'll tell you how. You hit up AJ Styles on Twitter, and the two of you get the entire internet to rally behind you for a final match together at Crown Jewel. And this match was pure magic, guys. This match was a total love letter to their entire working relationship, as well as all their favorite opponents over the years. And obviously, I wasn't there for those rivalries while they were happening in real time, but still, I was living for it all the same. That tombstone pile driver at the very end was such a treat. This was one of those matches that I know I will go back and rewatch every once in a while. Cena and Styles have such good chemistry, like the hype was legitimate. Okay, hot take, but I hate the Styles clash. I'm sorry, I know that everyone else goes nuts when it's time for a Styles clash. It just scares the shit out of me for some reason. Anyway, the Cena-Styles farewell match was the total opposite of the Lesnar one, even though it technically had even less build-up to it written into the show. Now, obviously, the fans shouldn't have a ton of influence on what direction the show takes. Like, no other fictional show on TV ever just lets the fans write the script for them. That said, I am really glad that the creative people listened this time, because we ended up with a really great match that nobody's gonna forget anytime soon. Now, if I got this right, Cena's due to have one more opponent before his retirement tour ends, and since this is my last wrestling video of 2025, I'm not gonna be able to give you guys my take on it until sometime early next year, unfortunately. And I know there was some stuff that I said I would cover last time that I didn't actually get to today, like the stuff with Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, and the stuff that's happened to The Vision. I cannot believe Judgment Day outlived The Vision. Also, I can't believe that I haven't said a single word about Dominic Mysterio yet. And I love that guy. Fortunately, I plan to continue doing periodic WWE update videos through 2026. So if you want to hear me talk about more wrestlers next year, it's in your best interest to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm also planning this pretty goofy video on some Attitude Era content, so you'll want to look out for that too. But that's enough from me for today. Remember to keep the Timekeeper's hammer in your boot, just in case, and I'll see you next time.